Action.
Action. Hi guys, welcome to the next step. I am super excited to be here with my friends, Pastor Nick and Deanne Snell. They have a story that inspired me, and I hope it will inspire you. Between the both of them, they had $100,000 of debt. They paid that off in 3 years, family of 5 on one income. When did you know that you needed to cut back on spending?
We went from being in school where we were basically living off of our loans. We were eating out, we were buying clothes that we just wanted, going on nice dates, whatever it might be, using our loans. We went to work in Philadelphia where we just had a stipend that we were living off of. Our housing was paid for, but we had a small stipend and we just couldn't afford to do those things. And we weren't gonna take out loans for the sake of going out to eat and buying new clothes or whatever. So we were kind of forced into it based on the situation that we were in.
You have to have a budget. So you have to know how much money you have, all the expenses you have, and how much you can allot to each one. One of the major areas for us was food. We would buy whatever we wanted without any kind of a plan or a shopping list. We'd go out to eat whenever we wanted. So we figured that out, and we hardly ever ate out again. We also welcomed donations because when we lived in Philadelphia, we were living in a ministry house. And so oftentimes churches or schools would just bring donations of food to us and the other ministry interns. And so it helps if you're not super picky also, which luckily we're not. We had huge donations of beans and rice and oats for like months. So we ate a lot of that and I got tired of it, but you know, you kind of learn to get creative with what you have.
I think another thing that helped living in Philadelphia, we lived in a row house and not the best area of town. And so when we did leave that place and I was back in school, but my school was paid for and all this stuff and working, going to school, we chose a lot cheaper housing than we might have chosen before. Something that is good to keep in mind is it's always better to start sooner. Like right now, we live in a 2-bedroom place and we have 3 kids. And so we've kind of learned to make do and make sacrifices. We could easily be spending another $500 on rent if we wanted another room. So we've decided to get a little cozy with each other, and it's also helped us to save a lot of money. I can imagine though, if we decided to start trying this 5 years from now and the kids are 5 years older, that would be a bit more difficult for Eden and Ezra to be sharing a room if they were, you know, teenagers or just coming into that. So that's why, again, I say the sooner,
younger,
the better.
And we really just stopped buying what we didn't really need. We did have a budget for fun money, and so sometimes we did use that to go out to eat or do a fun activity. My husband is in ministry, and so one of those gifts that we found is that often he would have to travel for certain things, and so we would turn it into a trip also. We've made friends from all over the country since we've gone to a very international college, and so we've done road trips, you know, from here to Canada. We went from here to Michigan and back this summer, and we've stayed with friends throughout all the stops because we have friends all over.
We've made some interesting cuts, but at the same time, we've had a lot of fun. One thing that the kids really love is anything that's kind of naturey, outdoorsy, and usually the fees for those kinds of things are not very high.
So tell us, what is your advice for others?
Number 1, you have to make a budget, have to know how much you have, what your expenses are, and make a plan for that. Number 2, I think what was very significant is having a grateful and a thankful attitude for what you have. A lot of the things that we have, furniture, things in the kitchen, clothing, toys, a lot of it was given to us from other people who were done with their stuff because their kids are older, or just family members, you know, buying things for us. I kind of had to make this shift in my head because I struggled with feeling like, oh, I wish we had a different couch or a different dining table or something because I don't really like this one, or it's a little scratched up. But I thought, let me instead think of, every time I look at this table, I'm gonna think of my friend who gave this to me.
I've been talking to my youth group about boundaries recently in relationships, right? And so I think we can have financial boundaries as well. Like, this is how much I'm allotting for this, and I can't go beyond that. So just like changing your expectations of not getting everything you want this month, but being willing to say, okay, I'll have a new amount of fun money next month, and I'll get my purchase then.
Allow yourself a splurge once in a while, or to have the fun money budget.
And it's not like we had it all figured out from the beginning. There are times that we've spent more, times that we've spent less. We've adjusted, and just keep at it. If it's a goal that you have, if it's something that you want to obtain, then just keep working at it.
What habits did you take away from this experience that you want to continue?
Budgeting, for sure. That's not going to stop, but now that's just changing. What is the money that we were using for loans now going to be used for? Eating at home most of the time. And not only is it a huge money saver, but because of eating at home so much, it's a part of our family life to sit around the table, we talk. It's something we look forward to every day, and it's a very significant part of life together. Happiness is not in all the things that you can get and have, but in relationships and people.
When we were in school, we had a small stipend to live on again, and so we were living poor, right?
Oh, yeah.
And the professor said, okay, when you finish school, continue to live poor, right? Save money, or get out of debt. We want to continue to live poor because there's been good fruits for our lives.
Deanne has a part 1 and part 2 about how they got out of debt, which I'm going to put in the description so you could check it out. Check out her blog. Now that you're debt free, what are your plans for the future?
We're going to continue to live poor, a little more margin for fun money and things like that. And we also really are planning to celebrate by giving a gift, like a celebratory thank you God gift to a ministry or a family in need or something like that. So that's how we plan to celebrate, and we're still landing on what we will do exactly.
We want to talk to someone about what would be wise to do. We have kids, different education maybe for the future, stuff like that.
It's really nice to be debt-free right now, and to realize that we actually don't have to go into debt for anything. If we do, that's our choice, right? If we need to buy a home, or something like that. But right now, it's awesome to be debt-free.
Thank you guys for sharing your story with us. Don't forget to like this video, share it, and subscribe to my channel. Until next time,
Live it up!
Yeah. Don't forget to click that button and subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share it.